Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at your next romantic partner. So, we'll go ahead and go through the breakdown of today's reading. So, first, we're going to take a look at who this person is. We're going to look at their overall personality, including one of their strengths and one of their weaknesses. And then we're going to take a look at any physical attributes that want to come through about this person. And for this part, we'll be using my thick handmade deck here, which has a bunch of different physical attributes as well as like personality, zodiac signs, all kinds of things. And so, anything else that wants to come through about who this person is, we'll take a look at that. And then we'll move on to the second part of the reading, which will be what the relationship will be like. So we're going to see what the impact this relationship will have on your life, any potential challenges that may come up, as well as advice on navigating those potential challenges. And then to close off the reading, we will look at potentially when this relationship will come into your life. So that is the breakdown of the reading, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it by looking at who this person is. So their overall personality is being represented by the hedonist. Light attributes inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Shadow attributes pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. And we have the Two of Pentacles. And then representing this person's strength or one of their strengths, we have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. And then one of this person's weaknesses is friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay. So, starting off with this person's sort of like overall energy here, their overall sort of personality with the hedonist, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. I feel like this is, first of all, a very extroverted person is kind of what I'm getting. This feels like someone that loves to be around people. They love chatting with people, getting to know people. Like, this is the type of person to strike up a conversation with literally anyone. It doesn't matter where they are. This definitely just feels like someone who's very chatty. Also someone who I feel like they love to travel. They love learning about other cultures, and yeah, this person just feels very like open-minded, very fun. They love to go on adventures. They just love to experience life. And this person might be someone that really enjoys like pleasures in life. They might really enjoy like luxurious experiences, for example, but I don't feel like this person necessarily like places luxuries on like a high pedestal necessarily. I do feel like this person is still very humble and they can enjoy like the simple pleasures of life. I'm being drawn to this picture of this woman just enjoying like a bunch of fruit here. Like fruit, it's like so like simple, but it's something that is like really good and tasty and yummy, and like replenishes the body. So this person definitely like they like the finer things in life, but they can also appreciate like the simple pleasures of life. Also, this person might really care about their health. That's another side message coming through. They might watch what they eat. They might like to exercise. But there's something very like balanced about this person with this Two of Pentacles, especially. Like, this person isn't like extreme in any sort of, I guess, circumstance. Like, this person isn't like overly healthy or like overly indulgent. You know what I mean? There's a pretty good balance about this person with this Two of Pentacles here. This Two of Pentacles could represent that sometimes this person has a hard time making certain decisions in life, because the Two of Pentacles does represent like kind of going back and forth. So this person might be a little indecisive at times, but it's mainly because they want to make sure that they're making the best choice, not just for themselves, but also for anyone else that could potentially be involved in whatever decision they're trying to make. This feels like the kind of person that they really value other people and their relationships to other people, and they care about how their actions affect other people in their life. Even if it's just like a stranger, like this person, I don't know, this person is just very selfless, I guess you could say. Also, this person could be very creative. I am seeing specifically like this person might like to draw or like to paint. I am seeing photography as well. I think this person really loves nature, loves getting out in nature, going for walks. I'm being shown like going swimming, going hiking, going biking. Yeah, I think this person is like a pretty active person. Like they love to just get out there and do things. I am being specifically drawn to the ocean. Even on the back of this card, we have the ocean here. So this person might live near an ocean. They might live on the coast. I was specifically seeing for someone here like California. This person might live on the west coast of the US. But yeah, this person, I think they really love going to the beach, or they love being by bodies of water. They might go to the beach or by a body of water to paint or draw or to just express their creativity. I think that they really feel in tune with earth and with Mother Nature, and that's where they get a lot of their inspiration. So yeah, you might meet this person while you're doing something like an activity outdoors or something like that. We're not really getting too much into like how you'll meet this person necessarily, but that was sort of a message coming through with that. Also, this person might have really like long, luscious hair, or if it's not necessarily like super long, it's very like thick and very healthy, very shiny. I'm really being drawn to her hair here. Yeah. I'm also being shown like Hawaii. This person might be from Hawaii. For some of you here, or like there's some Polynesian background to this person. Yeah. But yeah, this person just like, they love to enjoy life. They love to experience the good parts of life. Like their favorite thing to do is just have fun and just enjoy life. This person, they try not to take things like too seriously in life. And that doesn't mean that they don't know how to be serious when it's necessary, but I think just overall their personality, it's very lighthearted, very fun, very adventurous, very extroverted. Yeah. They just love to live a good life, and they love to inspire other people to live a good life. Genuinely, I just feel like this is a very just good person, good person overall. Obviously, it doesn't mean that they don't have their flaws, and we'll kind of get into that here in just a minute. But yeah, overall, this person feels very solid. Also, another message with the Two of Pentacles is this person, as far as work is concerned, they might be very busy with their job. For some of you, I'm being shown that this person has more than one job. They might have two jobs that they kind of go back and forth, or this person might even have their own business. And so, of course, being a business owner, there's a lot that comes with that. So this person might also be very busy with that aspect of their life, but they always make sure to have time for themselves and to have fun and to just enjoy life. Once again, that energy of balance, like a work-life balance, I think is very important to this person, even if they have a very like demanding job. So it might even be like something like where this person, for example, if this person works in the medical field, it might be that this person works like 3 12s, right? 3 12-hour shifts back to back to back, but then they have the rest of the week off, right? So it's something like that where they might work a lot in one time period, but then after they finish that time period, they have a lot of days off. It might be something like that. So moving on to this person's, or one of this person's strengths, we have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So one of this person's strengths is being able to let go of past difficulties and challenges, and not like holding on to resentment. Because, sometimes certain people, or sometimes I think all of us can probably be guilty of this. sometimes depending on what we've experienced in the past, it's really hard to let go of certain experiences and the way that those experiences have affected us, or even with the way that this is worded. I know I can't change the past. Maybe certain things that we've done or didn't do in the past that we kind of regret and we kind of hold on to. This person is really good about letting stuff go, and moving forward, especially if it's something that brings more of a negative energy into their life. Like I said, this person is all about like positivity, living their best life. So they have no problems with letting go of regrets, past experiences that may have hurt them, or like just past disappointments in general. This person doesn't live in the past. This person is very much about the present, and the future, more so the present. I feel like this person is very much living like in the here and now. This person isn't worried about like what their ex is doing or like past people that were in their life. Like, they don't care about any of that. They just care about the here and now and enjoying the here and now, because they know that the past is in the past and there's nothing that you can do to try and go back and make things better, right? So that's one of this person's strengths. They are really good at living in the here and now, being very present and letting go of the things that just don't serve them. And then one of their weaknesses, we have friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So what I'm feeling for this card is, and I was hearing this earlier, but the term people pleaser came into my life. And I'm not laughing because it's funny, but it's just like this person is so caring, so genuinely caring and compassionate that sometimes I feel like this person has a tendency to people please to their own detriment. And I don't feel like it's necessarily anything too significant. Like, I don't feel like they'll literally like kill themselves to like help other people. But I do feel like sometimes they can overexert themselves, or like I said, people please in a way. The friends that they have in their life, family, just the people that they care about, their circle, their community. I think that sometimes they will kind of put their own needs to the side to help other people, when sometimes it's okay to put yourself first. I think that's something that this person really struggles with, is kind of knowing where to draw that line. And I think in the past, especially, this has gotten them in a little bit of trouble, with certain friendships or relationships that maybe have taken advantage of them. I think they're very well aware of it, but I think it's something that they still kind of struggle with a little bit, like knowing where to draw that line, knowing where to put up those boundaries. Because like I said, this is just a very loving, compassionate person. And they want to help people whenever they can, especially those that they consider a friend, or a family member, you know? So I think that's something that they definitely have struggled with, is learning when to put up those boundaries with people. But like I said, I think it's something that they're well aware of. It's just something that they are like just constantly trying to be better at. You know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, so that's just something that they struggle with occasionally. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and get into their physical attributes now. And let's see what we can get from our deck here. Let's get some physical attributes for pile number 1's next romantic partner, Spirit. Physical attributes. What does pile 1's next romantic partner look like? Like I said, I was seeing like with the hair here, very like thick, luscious hair. Might be pretty long for some of you. So we have different ethnicity. Okay, so this person might have a different ethnicity from you. Okay, you might have 2 different cultural backgrounds. We also have gift giving. So this person's love language might be gift giving, which honestly, it makes total sense. This person might really love to like spoil the people in their life, especially their romantic partner. They might really want to buy you like luxurious gifts. Also, if this person like isn't of like Polynesian descent or anything, this person might just have really tan skin. Dark hair is what I'm seeing so far. Dark hair, tan skin. Pile number one's next romantic partner, Spirit. What do they look like? Anything else you can tell us? Anything else you can tell us about pile number one's next romantic partner? Business owner. So yeah, that did come through. Like I was saying, for some of you, I feel like this person, they might have their own business, or they might have multiple businesses that they're very busy with. Okay. I do feel like this person is pretty like comfortable financially. Okay. And that might look a little bit different for everyone here, but I don't think that they're necessarily struggling financially for most of you. What else can you tell us about pile number one's next romantic partner, Spirit? Fear of being rejected. Okay. So this person might have a fear of being rejected. And that kind of makes sense with this friendship energy here. Like this person having a pattern in the past, especially of being a people pleaser. It might be because I feel like they really don't want people to leave them, and they have just like this fear of abandonment is kind of what's coming through, as well as a fear of rejection. So that might be the reason why this person struggled so much with learning how to establish boundaries. Okay. They do have a fear of being rejected. But also with this, I feel like as far as them sort of approaching you and getting to know you, like they're going to definitely put their best foot forward. I can definitely see this person showering you with gifts, or like luxurious experiences and stuff like that. What else can we know about this person? We have children. Okay. So this person could have children of their own. For most of you, I'm not really getting that. I feel more so that this person, they could work with children, or they just love like working with children, being around children. They might have a lot of children like in their family. It's kind of giving family oriented. You might end up having children with this person. But yeah, I think this person, like they work well with kids, essentially. We also have a Virgo. This person could be a Virgo. What else can we know about this person, Spirit? Or like children just like gravitate towards this person, especially if this is someone that's really active in their community. I think they're the type of person to like they just work with children. They love to help kids develop their skills. I was specifically being shown like a basketball court. Like this is the type of person to go to like the playground or a basketball court and teach children how to play basketball or something like that. Yeah, I think they're just very like active in their community, and they really care about the next generation. And they love being able to like help kids, being a part of their overall like development, I guess you could say. What else can we know about pile one's next romantic partner, Spirit? Medium brown hair. Okay. So they may have medium brown hair. I'm kind of seeing like in the sun, their hair might look lighter. Okay, you might really be able to see like their undertones. I'm still feeling mostly like darker hair though, for most of you here. We have Scorpio. So this person could be a Virgo, Scorpio, or have that in their charts. What else can we know about this person, Spirit? We have an oval face. Okay, I'm going to get just a few more here before we move on to the next portion of the reading. We have extrovert, like I said. This person's definitely giving extrovert. Olive skin tone, okay. I was feeling more of like a tanned, so like an olive to tan skin tone for most of you here. Big eyes. Okay, so they might have big eyes, big round eyes, something very captivating about this person's eyes. We'll get one more. One more. Sports. Yes, I feel like this person's very active. I'm going to take a sip of water really quick. But yes, this person definitely enjoys being active, doing sports. Like I was saying, I feel like this person is like, they would coach like a little league, like something like that, you know? So that is what I'm seeing for the first portion. Now we will move on to what the relationship is going to be like. So we're going to first look at what impact this relationship is going to have on your life. I'm going to pull a romance angel card. Just to see like overall what this relationship is going to be like for you. Okay. Spirit, what is this relationship going to be like for my pile number ones? What is this relationship going to be like for my pile ones, Spirit? So we have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Okay. So a lot of chemistry. A lot of chemistry between you and this person for sure. I think you're going to find each other very physically attractive. Yeah, there's something very undeniable from the moment you two meet. I think there's definitely going to be a mutual physical attraction here that neither one of you will be able to deny. Yeah. So we're going to see what impact this relationship is going to have on your life. Okay. What impact will this relationship have on my pile one's life, Spirit? We have victory. Victory. And the number 28 reduces to 10. And 10 reduces to 1. So 10s are all about completions. 1s are all about new beginnings. And with this being victory, I kind of feel like this person could be like your end game, okay? This might be the person that you end up spending either the rest of your life with or a very good portion of your life with, okay? There's an energy here of like feeling like you hit the jackpot with this person, okay? I want to get some tarot to get some further information, and then we'll really get into it. Okay. What impact will this relationship have on my pile one, Spirit? What impact? Whoa. Okay. So we have the King of Swords. What impact will this relationship have on my pile ones? What impact will this relationship have on my pile one, Spirit? The Six of Pentacles, and we'll get one more card. What impact will this relationship have on my pile ones? And we have the Lovers. Okay. Gemini energy is coming through pretty strong. With Gemini energy, it's kind of making me think that you and this person are almost like two sides of the same coin. Or like, I feel like you and this person are going to have a lot of similarities. But externally or on the outside, the two of you might look very different or present yourselves very differently, because we did have that card come out that said different ethnicity. So it might be, like I said, you have two different ethnic backgrounds, but who you are as people and like to your core, I feel like are very similar. You might have a lot of the same interests or hobbies, or even just outlooks on life. Yeah, that's coming through pretty strongly. So what impact will this person have on your life? First of all, like I said, with the victory, you're going to feel like you hit the jackpot with this person. I do feel like for a lot of you, like this is end game for a lot of you here. Even with the lovers here, like I just feel like this person is like, they were made specifically for you, or like the two of you were made specifically for each other. It's definitely kind of giving like soulmate type of vibes here. But I think that this person is actually going to help you a lot in terms of building yourself up, or if you have already gotten yourself to a pretty good place in your material world, like career and finances, I think that you'll only continue to grow and expand with this person. For others of you that are still working on that, this person is really going to help push you and really help support you in reaching your goals. Even with the King of Swords and the Lovers, what's really interesting, like I said, this person might struggle with indecision themselves, but when it comes to helping other people through their indecision, they're really good at that. So if you're someone that struggles with indecisiveness, especially as it relates to your career, and kind of building yourself up in that area of life, this person is really going to help you make decisive choices that will lead to a lot of success and a lot of abundance, because the Lovers is also a card of choices, right? And the King of Swords, he's very logical, very analytical, very decisive, right? So this person is going to bring a lot of that energy into your life, even though they might struggle with it themselves. This is the kind of person that I feel like they're really good at like giving advice and like helping people with certain things, but when it comes to taking their own advice, they struggle with it a little bit. But with the Six of Pentacles, this is about reciprocity. It's equal give and take, right? So the impact that this relationship is going to have on your life is it's going to bring a lot of harmony, a lot of balance, and it's going to, I'm hearing like ease the load, ease the workload, or ease the stress. Partially because, especially in today's economy, it's a lot easier to survive with two incomes. And I do feel like for a lot of you, this person is pretty financially either well off or just comfortable at the very least. So things are just going to feel a lot easier. Life is going to feel more balanced, more harmonious. Having a partner that has your back and that supports you and that pushes you to go after your goals. I think that with the Lovers here, like this is just, and I forgot to cover this. This is just a relationship that pushes you to be the best version of yourself, right? Teaches you to make decisive choices, that teaches you to go after your goals and to believe in yourself, right? So yeah, I feel like this is going to have a very positive impact on your life, not gonna lie. This person just feels very supportive, you know, very, very supportive. And they want you to be the best version of yourself. They want you to go after the things that bring you joy and happiness, and go after your goals and achieve the things that you want to achieve. So they will back you 110% in anything that you want to go for, anything that you want to strive for. So now I want to look at any potential challenges that may come up in this relationship. What are the potential challenges that may come up in this relationship, Spirit? So we have the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So this is about the third eye. Okay. What are the potential challenges that may come up in this relationship? What are the potential challenges We have the Five of Swords. What are the potential challenges that might come up in this relationship, Spirit? We have the Hanged Man. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. What this feels like to me is kind of like misunderstandings, okay? It feels like misunderstandings, not seeing certain things clearly at times. Doesn't feel super significant, but it is something that's coming through, so we'll talk about it here. So the third eye, this is all about like kind of like our intuition, right? Being able to see things from a higher perspective, seeing things through quite literally your third eye here. I think you and this person are going to have a very sort of spiritual connection. You guys might like telepathically communicate a lot. And while that's a beautiful thing, I think sometimes it might lead to misunderstandings. The word assumptions is coming through here, okay? Because with the Five of Swords, this is a card of disagreements and arguments, feelings of defeat, right? So you might have certain little tiffs here and there, certain disagreements here and there. And I think it's mostly coming from making certain assumptions about things and it's either not like asking the right questions or not being straightforward about certain things. Because like I said, I feel like you and this person are very spiritually connected, very like I said, that telepathic communication. But I think sometimes, depending on the situation, clear, honest communication is going to be needed more so than the telepathic communication. And when that clear-cut, honest communication isn't happening, it can lead to conflict here. Like I said, it doesn't feel like it's anything too crazy. I think when this does happen with the Hangman, it's going to require like a pause. Not saying that you and this person are gonna like go your separate ways or anything. I just think it means like you and this person take a few minutes or an hour or something like that to kind of get your mind right. Because I think sometimes things could be blown out of proportion a little bit just because there's a lack of clear communication. There's just a misunderstanding there. But then you'll come back with the Queen of Pentacles and everything will be fine. I feel that strongly. The Queen of Pentacles is a very loving, nurturing, grounded energy here. So at the end of all of this, I feel like you'll always come back to each other with love and patience and nurturance. Like I said, it doesn't feel too significant, but like I said, no relationship is perfect, right? So like everything has its challenges. I am going to pull one card to get advice for you on how to deal with these potential challenges that may come up. It just feels like the occasional misunderstanding, the occasional like argument when there isn't that clear communication that's needed in that moment, because I feel like the two of you are going to just be very used to your telepathic sort of communication. But at times, like I said, it can lead to misunderstandings. Spirit, what is the advice for pile 1 on how to navigate these potential challenges? We have, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius, okay? Look at the bigger picture. Yeah. Even with the Hangman can definitely represent sort of, hanging in suspense, hanging from a place that's a bit uncomfortable, but it's to gain a new perspective, right? So it's about looking at the bigger picture, looking at everything that's going on here and not jumping to conclusions or making assumptions about things. Just making sure that you are aware of everything that's going on when these tiffs or disagreements or arguments do occur here. I'm hearing there's more than meets the eye. There's more than meets the eye sometimes in these situations. Yeah. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get into when this relationship is likely to come in for you. So I'm going to grab 2 of the months of the year cards here. This is a timeless reading, so it'll be, we'll just see what comes through here and whatever I channel in regards to these months. So, Spirit, when will this relationship come in for my pile ones? Okay, so we have December. We'll get one more. When will this relationship come in? And we have August. Okay. August through December. So it kind of feels like late summer through winter for most of you here. If you're watching this when I'm posting, it could be between August and December of this year, or if you're already within those months, it could be any time between when you're watching this and December here, but it definitely does feel like the later half of the year whenever you're watching this, for when this could come into your life. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you, pile 1. Once again, I want to thank you so much for being here with me, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at your next romantic partner. So we'll go ahead and get into the breakdown of today's reading. So we're first going to take a look at who this person is. We're going to take a look at their overall personality, including one of their strengths and one of their weaknesses. And then we'll look at their physical attributes. We will be pulling from my giant homemade deck here, filled with a lot of different attributes, physical, personality traits, zodiac signs, things like that, as well as anything else that wants to come through about who they are. And then we will move into the second portion of the reading, which is going to be about what the relationship is going to be like for you. So we're going to look at the impact this relationship will have on your life, as well as any potential challenges that may come up, as well as advice on navigating those potential challenges. And then we will close the reading off by looking at when this relationship will come into your life. So let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to start by looking at your person's, or this next romantic partner's, personality. So to represent their overall personality, we have the Saboteur. Light attribute highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Shadow attribute induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Saboteur. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we'll rock with it for now. Then we have the Queen of Cups. This person could have a lot of water in their chart: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Then to represent one of this person's strengths, we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And one of their weaknesses is blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay. So getting into this person's overall personality, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. This feels like the kind of person, even with the adversity card being one of their strengths, this feels like the kind of person that's always striving to be better, always striving to improve themselves, improving their skills. But for a lot of you, this improvement feels more geared towards like internal improvement. I'm literally being shown like the Hermit in my mind's eye. So I think this person spends a lot of time doing like self-reflection and doing a lot of inner work. This might be someone that has gone through like an ego death or dark night of the soul. There's something very like deep about this person. This person spends a lot of time in their internal world, but it's because they're always looking for ways to improve themselves, so that they can essentially have a better life, right? And I feel like this is something that has been developing over time. I don't think that this person has always been this self-reflective, especially with this blame card, which we'll get into in a little bit here. But I think this person is just really all about self-improvement, trying to see how they can do things better in their life or just be a better person, right? But with this Queen of Cups, I think this is someone that is very in tune with their emotions, regardless of gender. I think this is someone who's very emotional, not in like a negative sense, like not in like a crybaby sense necessarily, but I do think that they are very in tune with their emotions. They kind of wear their heart on their sleeve a lot of the times. And I think that in the past, that might have kind of burned them a little bit. But they've learned a lot through those challenges and those setbacks in their past. And I think it's still an ongoing effort that this person is like striving towards or moving through. But I think this is someone that's very empathetic as well. I think this person just feels very deeply is what's coming through. They feel very, very deeply. And they might literally be like an empath. Okay, they might literally be an empath, and they pick up on other people's emotions a lot. And I think maybe they've had to learn how to decipher between like what's their energy versus what's other people's, because they will just carry others' energy and emotions unknowingly. And I think that might also be part of the reason why they've done so much reflection, because that's something that they've had to learn how to decipher, because they are very susceptible. I don't know if that's the right word. Sensitive is the word that's coming through. Yes. This person's very sensitive to other people's feelings or energy. In general, I think this person is pretty sensitive with that Queen of Cups. Like, they will take things to heart. The things that people say to them, they will kind of internalize that sometimes. Once again, not always the best thing, but I think it's something that they are aware of, and it's something that they are working through every day, learning how to not internalize things that people say to them, or like I said, internalizing other people's energy, learning how to decipher what's theirs and what's not, right? This person is always trying to reach new heights and being drawn to like her being in a hot air balloon here. So it's making me think of, like I said, reaching new heights, self-improvement, always trying to grow, always trying to evolve here. I think that this person, like I said, they're very sensitive, and I think that this person may have struggled with low self-esteem at times, with like the saying fear of self-empowerment. This person may have really struggled with like literally self-empowerment and feeling confident in themselves, realizing their own worth. It might be that this person was either like bullied or picked on when they were younger, and so I think that really took a toll on how they showed up in the world. And like I said, this is something that they've been working through, okay? So like when you and this person come together, it's not like they're like this damaged, broken, insecure person that you're gonna have to try and fix. I don't feel that way at all. Obviously, no one's perfect, and we're always continually healing and growing and evolving. And like I said, that's something that this person is very dedicated to. So I don't want you to think that like this person is like just like a mess, but this is kind of just like their background and like their experiences, like how their experiences have shaped them and how it has helped them grow and evolve. Because I do think that that's something that this person has struggled with, is self-esteem, self-empowerment, feeling positively about themselves, and speaking words of encouragement to themselves. I think that's something that they've really had to learn how to do. I think that they have had a history of really beating themselves up over certain things, and I think it's mainly because of things that other people may have said to them. Like I said, they internalize a lot of things. So I think this person in the past was definitely a bit naive, and when I say past, I'm really feeling this is like childhood stuff. Like I'm like middle school, elementary school, high school, like not like as an adult, but like I said, this is kind of their background. They were a little bit naive at times, and like I said, they wear their heart on their sleeve, right? So they may have let people in that did not have the best of intentions, and they ended up being really hurt by these people, right? And they kind of just internalized those experiences and thought that they were deserving of those experiences, right? They were deserving of the horrible treatment that they received. And that's something that they've worked through, right? They have worked through that. They have soared to new heights. They have moved past that. They know their worth now, I feel like, okay? They know their worth. Doesn't mean that they are like at the top of their game every single day. No, of course not. Nobody is, right? I think that they definitely still have days where they kind of relapse and, they're not feeling their best, or, they struggle with negative self-talk. I think they also might hold a little bit of animosity in their heart for those past experiences, which we'll get into with this blame card. But I mean, honestly, who doesn't struggle with those things? I think that's a very natural part of being human. We can't always be our best 100% of the time, right? But like I said, this person is very dedicated to their growth and evolving and empowering themselves, while also still learning to have an open heart to the people that deserve it, right? This person is still very loving, very compassionate, very open. Like that's who they are to their core. But I think that they're definitely way more selective with who they show this part of themselves to, right? Because I think back in the day, in the past, they were just like willy-nilly, just giving their love to everyone. And then they realized they can't do that, right? It's a sad part of life, but it's just kind of how it is. So yeah, they've gone through a lot, but they've also learned a lot through those experiences. So yeah, Spirit's also drawing my attention to the green on here, which is making me think of the heart chakra, right? So this person is genuinely just a love bug. They're a love bug through and through. All they want is true connection, true loving, deep, compassionate connection. That's all that's all they've wanted, right? But people have taken advantage of that in the past, for sure. So getting into one of their strengths, we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So like I've been saying this whole time, this person has been through it in the past. But one of their strengths is being able to move through those challenges with grace. That doesn't mean that process is always pretty. Okay. It's still tough. It's still challenging, right? But I think that they realize that those challenges and those setbacks and just those experiences have really shaped who they are now as an adult. And I think that they really love who they are now as an adult, because yes, they've gone through all of these like hurtful experiences in the past, but they're still this Queen of Cups. They're still like open, right? They're still emotionally in tune. They're still loving and compassionate and caring. They didn't let those experiences turn them into the Grinch, right? So I think that they really love who they have become, and they're really proud of who they've become, and they're really proud of how they went through those challenges, right? And they have accepted that those hardships were learning lessons, right? And anything else that comes up in the future, like they know that they can handle it. They know that if they could handle what they've experienced in the past, they can handle anything else that life throws at them, right? So that's one of this person's strengths for sure. And then what are their weaknesses? We have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. So like I was saying earlier, this person's not always like 100%, right? Like they can't be the best version of themselves 100% of the time. They have their moments, they have their days where they think back on past experiences, right? And I think what it is more so is like they feel bad for their younger self, for their inner child, for the things that they've had to endure that they shouldn't have had to endure. And they might fall into like this blaming energy, and holding a little bit of resentment for the things that they've gone through, you know? And I think that's pretty normal. Honestly, like it's not unheard of, right? I think that's pretty normal. I don't think that this energy of blame is like this person just won't accept responsibility or hold themselves accountable. I don't think that at all. I think this is more so like when they're just having an off day, they just hold resentment for the people or the situations that they went through in the past that hurt them. That's what I'm kind of feeling with this card here. Like they have their moments. And that's something that they struggle with occasionally, for sure. I'm being told that this might be something that this person works through in like therapy. So this person might go to therapy, for some of you here, and this is something that they actively work on with their therapist, is what I'm being told. Okay. Yeah. I do feel like sometimes they have sort of like just emotionally hard or difficult days, which we all do, right? We all go through those days. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for that. So we're going to go ahead and get into my homemade deck here with all of these different attributes, and we'll see what we can get for how this person looks or any other traits we can get. So Spirit, for pile number 2's next romantic partner. I'm being told this person likes to journal. They might express themselves through written word, or they might like to write songs, poetry, but definitely journaling, I'm being told. Also, side note, this person might really like to wear loose fitting clothing or clothes that really kind of like drape off of their body, like like kind of how it shows in this Queen of Cups. Like it just kind of falls off their body in a way, kind of loose, but still like if this person is curvy, for example, it's loose, but it's still showing all of the curves. Or if this person has like muscles, it's loose clothes, but it still shows off the muscles or shows off the figure. That's one thing that's coming through. This person might be from an area that gets cold as well. I'm noticing that they're both wearing long sleeves here. So this person might be from somewhere that gets cold. They have to wear jackets, long sleeves, scarves, stuff like that. All right, what can we know about pile number 2's next romantic partner, Spirit? What do they look like, or any other attributes? Any other attributes you can give us? So we have, oh gosh, clingy. Okay. This is definitely giving like past energy. And it might be something that they still struggle with sometimes. I don't know. Some people like clingy, some people don't. But I feel like this is especially talking about their past energy here, where I feel like in the past they just wanted to be loved, right? They have a big heart. They just want to be loved. They want to love. They want that true, genuine companionship. And I think sometimes they would like cling on to people that were no good for them, okay? Maybe even in past relationships, right? So that might be something that they've had to work through. But if you like clingy, there you go. Okay. What else can we know about this person, Spirit? Pile number 2's next romantic partner. We have street smart. Okay, that's something I think that they've had to learn. They've had to learn how to navigate just like being in the general public, right? They've had to learn when to reel in this heart that they wear on their sleeve, right? They've had to learn when to reel in that empathetic nature, because that's who they are naturally. Very like trusting, like I was saying, naive. This person in the past was very naive, and they've unfortunately had to learn the hard way, but they are very street smart now. They know how to navigate life and dealing with people, right? Not being so naive. What else is coming through is kind of like, maybe for some of you, this person is on like the autism spectrum in some capacity. I don't feel like it's like an extreme case, but you know, a lot of people go their lives without being diagnosed, so that was coming through. What else can we know about this person's spirit? We have a heart face. Okay, so they might have a heart face shape. Pile number 2's next romantic partner spirit. So we have blue eyes. This person might have blue eyes. Kind of goes well with the Queen of Cups. All the blue on that card. I'm hearing Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish. We have tattoos. Okay, so this person probably has tattoos. Oh, so Billie Eilish's Ocean Eyes is playing in my head now, where she says, "You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes." I just feel like it's just tapping back into that Queen of Cups energy. This person's so emotional. They just have such a big heart. Such a big heart. Okay. We have Leo. This person could be a Leo. Or I don't necessarily feel like it's their sun if they are a Leo. I feel like it would be somewhere in their chart for most of you here. They could be a Leo sun, but I'm being told like North Node. They might have a Leo North Node. We have oval face. We have physical touch. So physical touch might be their love language. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that being a thing, especially with the clingy. So the clingy might not necessarily be like emotional clinginess, although it could be, but I think they might just really love physical touch. Like that's their love language. They'd love to like hold your hand, or like PDA. They love that stuff. They love it. We have curly hair. Okay, so this person might have curly hair. If they have blue eyes, they might have like curly blonde hair being shown. It might even be for some of you like this person's hair is naturally straight, but they like get a curly perm for some of you. Okay, we also have needs their space, which is interesting with the clingy. So, but it also makes sense because I was saying this person definitely does a lot of like introspection, and I was channeling the Hermit in my mind's eye earlier. So this person, they probably have a good balance between like, you know, needing their space, needing alone time, but also wanting to be with their partner. So yeah, occasionally they need their space to like go within, do their introspection, navigate their emotional world. We have comforting and nurturing. Yeah. Also ignore the little dot there. I think it just bled through when I was writing another card. What else? But yeah, that comforting, nurturing energy is that Queen of Cups. They're very loving, very comforting. They like fantasy. Okay. We'll grab one more. They might read like fantasy novels, or they love like fantasy movies. This person might be a little bit of a nerd, which I love that. And one more. I'm being shown Harry Potter. This person might really like Harry Potter. Lastly, oh gosh, looks like they'll break your heart. So yeah, with the tattoos, blue eyes, curly hair, even with the Leo energy, this person might have like this look like they'll literally break your heart. They might have like a fuck boy, fuck girl kind of look to them, but they're really not. They're like the biggest sweetheart. And I am being told that for a lot of you, this person went through a major glow up. So they might have been kind of like the ugly duckling when they were younger, and then they grew up and they turned into like this stunning model. And so they might even get a lot of attention now because of their looks, but they don't want anything superficial or surface level. They're looking for something real, right? So when you meet this person, you might think, oh, they're no good, right? But in reality, this person is just a love bug. So yeah, definitely getting glow up energy here. So we will move into the next part of the reading, which is what the relationship will be like. So we're going to pull one romance oracle just to kind of get the overall vibe here. And then we'll move into like the impact this relationship will have on you. Any challenges and advice for those challenges. Okay. What will this relationship be like for my pile number 2, Spirit? So we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So going back to the looks like they'll break your heart, Spirit is saying keep an open mind when you meet this person, because you might actually like almost write this person off just because they look like they are up to no good, or they look like they're untrustworthy. When in reality, like I said, this person's just a love bug. They're just like a big teddy bear. They just want real, true, genuine, authentic love. So keep an open mind, but also what this relationship is going to be like for you overall is very eye-opening. Okay, I think that this person, it might be that like their interests in things are different from yours for some of you, and so they might be introducing you to a lot of new things that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten into. Could be even maybe this person has like a different cultural background, for example, so they're introducing you to a whole new world, different culture, customs, things like that. But there's something about this relationship being very eye-opening for you, and you having a lot of new experiences, and I'm hearing like new hobbies, new interests, things like that. So this relationship is going to be very expansive for you. I'm being shown the 3 of Wands, so a very expansive sort of relationship. But yeah, keep an open mind. Don't write this person off just because they look a certain way when you meet them. Give them a chance. So we're going to see what impact this relationship is going to have in your life. Okay, what impact is this relationship going to have on my pile 2's life, Spirit? So we have the appreciation card. This is all about gratitude here. So this relationship is going to make you feel very grateful, very appreciative of your life. I think very appreciative of this person and this connection. I think you're going to just feel very grateful for meeting this person, for giving this person a chance, right? Because like I said, you might like try and write this person off. But let's get some tarot and get some further information. What is this relationship going to be like for my pile 2's? Or what impact? Yeah, what impact will this relationship have? We have the Page of Pentacles. What impact will this relationship have on my pile 2's, Spirit? What impact? We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we'll grab one more. What impact will this relationship have on my pile twos? What impact? Yeah, Nine of Cups. Oh my goodness. Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, right? And with the appreciation card, I think this relationship is just going to make you feel so grateful, so whole. It's going to make you feel like you've hit the jackpot. You've hit the jackpot. Page of Pentacles, going back to what I was saying earlier with the keep an open mind, I think this relationship is going to be really eye-opening for you. I think it's going to introduce you to a whole new world. Like I said, new interests. I'm hearing like new places to go. This person might, like, even if you live in the same area, this person just might go to places that you typically don't go to, so that like you're kind of combining your worlds here. And so you're going to be exploring new things, trying new things, going new places. It's going to be, like I said, very eye-opening, very expansive, and you're going to feel very grateful for this, because it's going to make you feel whole, or it's going to make you feel complete. Not to say that you're not already whole and complete as you are now, but there's kind of this feeling of like, you just feel content, I guess the word you could use is, you just feel happy. Okay, you just feel happy, content. The Wheel of Fortune, this is a card of change, card of destiny. It's a card of fate. So your life is definitely going to go through a significant change here through this relationship. It's possible that you might even move with this person, especially if this is someone that lives at a distance from you, which could be the case for some of you here. That would kind of make sense why everything kind of feels new and fresh and expansive. Like you could be moving to where this person lives, and you might be in a whole new city or state or country, and kind of just adjusting to that new environment. But I think it's going to be an environment that makes you feel like really accepted. Like even if, for example, you don't look like anyone there, you're still going to feel very like welcomed and very warm, and you're going to feel like you belong, right? But overall, the impact that this relationship is going to have on your life is, it's just going to make you feel grateful. It's going to make you feel happy. It's going to make you feel like you have everything that you hoped and wished for and dreamed of. And it's going to be very expansive. You're going to be learning a lot of new things, and you're going to just appreciate every day with this card, like stopping to smell the roses, right? Just enjoying the little things. Obviously that doesn't mean that there won't be challenges, but overall, like I think you're going to feel really content in this relationship, and it's going to just be very expansive for you. So now we're going to get into any potential challenges here. So what's the potential challenge for my pile of twos in this relationship? Any potential challenges? We have Goddess of the Moon. So this is about our connection to spirit. So we will get into that. I'm gonna grab some tarot here and we'll see what this is about. What are the potential challenges in this relationship, spirit, for pile 2? Oh, the Queen of Cups, okay. What are the potential challenges in this relationship for pile 2? We have the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, okay. And my right ear is like really ringing right now. Okay. Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands, and Goddess of the Moon. I think what it is, like we were saying earlier, this kind of feels more like this person's energy coming through, where they sometimes hold on to things with those Four of Pentacles emotionally, that I think sometimes might get in the way of progressing forward at times with this Two of Wands. This might be the challenge that comes through. Why Goddess of the Moon, though? Clarify Goddess of the Moon, please, Spirit. Clarify Goddess of the Moon. Ace of Swords. Okay. Clarity. Clarity. So, yeah. Okay. What's coming through is potential challenges, or challenge for this relationship is sometimes you might be left wondering where this person stands. Not necessarily with you, but I think at times, like I said, this person definitely retreats and they spend a lot of time doing like self-reflection and introspection and things like that. Very emotional person, like I said, very in tune with that part of their life. But at times I think this person retreats because they're trying to work through something internally, but they might not always verbalize that. And so you might be left kind of wondering what's going on, like wanting clarity, but like not really feeling like you're getting it from this person. And also, like I was saying with the Four of Pentacles, this person might hold on to things at times, and that might prevent things from progressing or moving forward at times with this Two of Wands here. Because this Two of Wands is about planning, looking towards the future, but sometimes this person kind of gets stuck. They get stuck a little bit, and that prevents, and I feel like this is more like with practical or material matters, right? It kind of prevents things from moving forward. It prevents plans from being executed, if you will. Sometimes this person needs time to navigate their emotions and their feelings, but they might not always tell you that's what they need or that's what they're doing. And so you're kind of left wondering in a way, or you're left trusting just like your intuition, trying to get clarity that way, because this person just occasionally will kind of retreat a little bit. But we're going to grab some advice for you on how to navigate these challenges. Yeah. Spirit, what is the advice for pile 2 on how to navigate this potential challenge in this relationship? What is the advice for pile 2 on how to navigate this potential challenge? So we have don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. Okay. Don't let your past hold you back. I almost feel like that's advice for this person coming through, because like I was saying earlier, like sometimes this person has a moment where they're kind of thinking back on the past and they're holding a lot of resentment, right? And that's kind of what this feels like they're holding on to things that prevent them from moving forward at times, but they might not always tell you what's going on with them in that moment, so you're kind of left guessing. But this advice feels more so like it's geared towards them. But bottom of the deck, we do have bring love into the situation. So I kind of feel like Spirit's advice for you, pile 2, is to try to just hold compassion for this person, okay? For some of you, I'm being told like this person's tendency to retreat might be a little bit triggering for you because of past experiences that you may have had where people have done that, and that might have, hurt you in some way. Spirit is encouraging you to remember that this is a new person, a new situation, and to try and just have compassion for this person and allow this person to take the time that they need, or like give this person their space that they need at times, so that when the two of you come back together, or not necessarily come back together, it's not like you're splitting up or anything, but when the two of you do take the time to talk and debrief, if you will, the two of you can have I guess, calm sort of discussion where there aren't any like accusations being thrown around, right? So I feel like the message here, or the advice here, is to just treat this relationship as its own relationship and try not to let possibly your own past experiences kind of bleed into this relationship. And I feel like this advice would also apply to this person as well, if they, were watching this reading as well. I think that this person really, and like I said, is something they're working on, really needs to learn how to let go of the past. And for the most part, I feel like they're pretty, decent at that. But they have their moments, right? They have their moments where they're holding on to things. I want to look into that a little bit more. Spirit, what is this Four of Pentacles about? The Seven of Cups. So that's about fantasy, looking at all the options available, right? I almost kind of get like a little bit of like, it's like a hesitant energy here. This person's hesitant to, or just very careful. This person's very careful. Because they don't want to make the wrong mistake, or like the wrong choice. They don't want to make the same mistakes that they've made in the past. So there is something about this person kind of holding back a little bit. They might be holding back emotionally a little bit at times, and preventing that, like, prevents the relationship from moving forward at times. And that might be triggering for you. It might leave you guessing, like I said. Yeah, Six of Cups, bottom of the deck. So that's about the past. What is this Two of Wands about, Spirit? The Emperor. Taking charge, making plans, executing them. I just think at times, like, you might just get a little bit frustrated with the way this person might delay things, because they're trying to make sure that they are looking at everything, making sure that they're making the right choices and the right decisions, right? So that might be a little bit frustrating for some of you. This person, they're not quick to take action on certain things, right? They're not quick to make certain decisions. They take their time, for sure. And they will hold back until they are 100% certain about their decision. Because I think, like I said, this person's been through a lot in the past, so that's the reason why they are the way that they are. But for some of you, like I said, it might be a little bit triggering, because you might have dealt with people in the past that have done the same thing. But it's like the intentions are very different, right? Yeah. The intentions are different. Like, for some of you, you may have been in a relationship where the person you were dealing with was holding back, and it wasn't because they were trying to make sure they were making the right decision. It's because they were just emotionally unavailable, or truly just weren't interested in building something real and long term. While this person that we're talking about now, that is their intention, and that is why they are so careful, and why they take their time, right? So it's like, for some of you, that might be a little bit of a challenge, but I think that you'll get through it for sure. Because I can see the energy up here of like what this, the impact this relationship will have on you. It's a very beautiful energy that we talked about earlier. So we're going to go ahead and finish off your reading by looking at when this relationship will come into your life. I'm going to pull 2 of the months of the year, and we'll just see what comes through. So Spirit, for pile number 2, when will this relationship come into pile 2's life, Spirit? We have April. Okay, so if you're watching this when I'm posting, it could be next April. or like depending on when you're watching, just take it how it resonates. Let's get one more. And January. Okay. So it seems like the first, not necessarily half, but like the first 4 months of the year seem very significant. So depending on when you're watching, this could be right around the corner, or this could be, a little ways away. If you're watching this when I'm posting, this will likely be coming in the beginning of next year for most of you. So pile number 2, I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. Once again, I want to thank you so much for being here with me, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at your next romantic partner. So we're going to get into the, overview of today's reading. So first, we're going to take a look at who this person is. We're going to take a look at their overall personality, including one of their strengths and one of their weaknesses. And then we're going to take a look at any physical attributes we can get from my homemade deck here. So we're going to pull a few of those, as well as, additional personality traits, zodiac signs, stuff like that, as well as anything else that wants to come through about who this person is. Then we'll move into the second half of the reading, where we will look at what the relationship will be like for you. We're going to look at the impact this relationship will have on your life, as well as any potential challenges that may come up and advice on navigating those potential challenges. And then we will close the reading off by looking at when this relationship will come into your life. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Also, I just saw 111 on the time clock here, so that's kind of like indicative of new beginnings. But yeah, let's look at who this person is here. So starting off with their overall personality, we have the student. Light attributes: humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attributes: arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. And we have the King of Pentacles. So heavy earth energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So that might be in this person's chart. Even the way this person is like literally a tree, like they're rooted to the earth. So definitely heavy earth energy here. Yeah. And then representing one of their strengths, we have loneliness. I know that I am never alone. We also have the earth in the center of this card as well. And then for one of their weaknesses, we have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Okay. So pile number 3. Definitely heavy earth energy here, okay? I definitely feel like this person is most likely an earth sign, or at least they have that energy in their big 3 or like in their chart overall. First of all, I am getting that for a lot of you, this is someone who is either older or more established. With this King of Pentacles, this makes me think of someone who has put in a lot of work, put in a lot of time to build themselves up to get to where they are in their life, especially in their career. For some of you, this person might even be like a professor. That was coming through. Even though this says student, like I kind of feel like for some of you, this person could be like a professor that's constantly like learning and evolving and growing. Or I was also being shown this person might work in the medical field. They might be like a doctor or a surgeon, and working in the medical field, things are constantly changing and evolving. So in that way, you are constantly like a student. You're always learning new things and things like that. Even if you've been doing it for a while, there's still always something new to learn and improve on. And in general, I think that's how this person moves about life. They recognize there's always room for improvement. There's always room to grow. And they love to learn, okay? That's very clear with this student card. They love to learn. They're very open-minded as well, okay? Even though we have like this King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles can sometimes represent an energy where we've gotten kind of complacent because we've, achieved everything, right? This is like we've got all of the money, all the abundance, and all the things, and now we're kind of just sitting on our throne. But I don't necessarily feel like this person is ever really complacent. I think they enjoy the fruits of their labor, of course, but they're always looking for ways to grow and new things to learn. It might even be like for those of you who are older or like maybe more like retirement age, maybe this is someone who has retired and now they're kind of doing like side quests, you know? They're like learning things that they maybe have always wanted to learn or like put energy into, but they never had the time while they were working. So now they're kind of just doing fun little side hobbies and things like that. With all this earth energy, this person might even like to garden or landscape, something like that. I'm also being shown animals. This person might really love animals. They might have like, I don't know, like chickens, or goats, ducks, stuff like that. Or maybe that's something that they want in the future. But yeah, this person is very, I feel like this person's personality is very like laid back, very like chill. I feel like their voice is really nice as well. They have a really nice, calm, soothing voice. I'm hearing it'll put you right to sleep. Oh my gosh, Spirit's saying it's like a bedtime story. Like the way this person is like holding this book, it's making me think of a bedtime story. So this person's voice, it'll put you right to sleep. In a good way, in a good way. It's not that this person is boring. It's just that their voice is very soothing. I'm being shown Mr. Rogers. If you know who that is. I'm being shown Mr. Rogers, like that energy of just like calm, like a old PBS TV show. That doesn't mean that this person doesn't know how to have fun or let their hair down or anything like that, but just like overall who they are naturally, like they're very chill, very grounded, very practical as well. I'm also being shown Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know what's up with all of these like examples coming through, but like that's the energy here. This is someone that is incredibly smart, so smart, very like established in their career, could be very like well renowned in their career as well, could be someone that other people look up to as well. But even though this person is so successful and established, there's still such a humbleness to this person. They're so humble, and they never feel like they know it all, you know. Even if they do even if they do know it all, they will never ever come off that way, right? This person is always open to new perspectives and new ways of doing things. And yeah, I love this person's energy. This person's energy is kind of like dad energy. Doesn't mean they're a man, but with the King of Pentacles, like it's kind of giving dad energy for sure. So for a lot of you, I do feel like this person is older. But obviously take that how it resonates, because if there's like an age that you just would not go past, then obviously this person most likely isn't going to be like older than what your boundaries are, like obviously. But for some of you here, I am definitely feeling like it could be like retirement age. But yeah, so moving into this person's strengths, we have loneliness. I know that I am never alone. I do feel like this person could really enjoy their solitude at times. I'm being shown this person might have like their own home library, or like their office kind of doubles as a library. I'm being shown like bookshelves with a ton of books everywhere. So this person might really love to read, which makes sense because this person is a lifelong student. They love to learn. They love to stimulate their brain, right? So they might really enjoy their alone time. That's one of their strengths. They don't feel like they have to constantly be in the mix of other people. This person might naturally be a little more introverted. And I'm not feeling like this person is necessarily shy, although they could be, but I'm feeling like this person just really appreciates their alone time, their solitude, to read their books, to learn, to stimulate their mind, doing whatever it is that they like to do. I'm being shown this person might like Rubik's cubes. I'm being shown like what's it called, crossword puzzles, and like they like that type of stuff. Sudoku, stuff like that. Like they like those little like mentally stimulating games. They like that kind of stuff. But yeah, they enjoy their solitude. They don't feel the need to constantly be in the mix of other people. It doesn't mean that they don't like being around other people, but I think they just have a really good balance with that. So I'm being drawn to the fact that this card is blue, and that's making me think of the throat chakra. So another one of this person's strengths is knowing when to speak and when not to speak. Okay. I think that this person is really good at like reading the room. I guess you could say they're really good at knowing when it's appropriate to say certain things and when it's not. Okay. And that might be something that they learn through trial and error. Okay. But I think that's another thing. They're pretty good with their words when they need to be. That's another thing coming through. And also, I think this person is really good at connecting with other people from different cultures and like all different backgrounds. They really know how to connect with various types of people. I'm also being told this person might speak multiple languages, or like more than one language at the very least. So this person might be bilingual, multilingual, but it might be like a language that they learned later on in life. Like they didn't necessarily grow up speaking two languages. It might just be that, they kind of learned it. Lifelong student, right? Okay, so moving on to one of this person's weaknesses, we have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So I feel like one of this person's weaknesses could definitely be that they don't always see their self-worth. They might, quite literally, like I said, struggle with self-esteem at times and feeling worthy, and really cherishing themselves. I think what it is, it's more so about their skill set, and that might be part of the reason why they're constantly, learning, growing, evolving, trying to gain as much knowledge as they can, because I think that's something that they struggle feeling secure in, is their knowledge. Even though this person is very intelligent, I think that they just can sometimes be very hard on themselves. And that might stem from something in childhood for some of you. Like this person's childhood, it might stem from that, but I think this person they have really high expectations for themselves, and they're just always trying to strive, always trying to grow, always trying to be the best that they can be. And I think sometimes it can be to their own detriment. Not to be like dramatic or anything, but sometimes I think they might overdo it, or they might not give themselves like a break if they really need it. You know what I mean? And just kind of enjoy where they're at. It comes from a place of insecurity when they get that way. But I mean, this person's so smart, so intelligent. Yeah, I definitely feel like they could do something if they're still working. I feel like they're definitely in some sort of field where they constantly have to learn, because things are constantly changing, and there's always new ways to do things. Like that's the kind of career this person would have. That's the kind of field this person would work in, because they need that constant mental stimulation. So I want to go ahead and move into, also sometimes sometimes they kind of like doubt their own abilities, like they doubt their own knowledge and their own capabilities. Like that's one of their weaknesses here. Sometimes they don't even recognize their own intelligence, and so they're just constantly trying to become more and more intelligent, even though they're already very they're very smart. So let's go ahead and take a look at any physical attributes or any other personality traits, zodiac signs, anything that wants to come out about this person. So for my pile number 3s, please, Spirit. My pile of 3s. What does pile 3's next romantic partner look like, or any other information you can give about pile number 3's next romantic partner, please? Here we have frugal. Okay, frugal. Even though this person, I feel like, has a lot of money, or at the very least they're very comfortable, they might live a very frugal life. I don't get the sense that this is a very flashy person, like, at all. Like, this is someone that's very much like okay with the basics, okay with the necessities. They don't need to be like drip down in designer or anything like that. They're not flashy at all. I think they can enjoy nice things, but for the most part they live a frugal life. They don't spend beyond their means, because I feel like for them it's just not necessary. I don't think that's where they find their happiness. They find their happiness in learning. That's where they're most happy, when they're learning. What else can we know about this person? We have a triangle face, so they might have a triangle face shape. What else can we know about pile 3's next romantic partner, Spirit? Diamond face. We have light brown skin tone. We have looks innocent. Okay, this person might look innocent. I think this person has a very like sweet look to them. Like they just look very sweet, very kind, like a very kind face. They look like they wouldn't hurt a soul. And they wouldn't, like, they really wouldn't. They really are just like a kind person. But they look innocent. They might even look young for their age, for some of you. What else? For pile number 3, younger, a few years. So depending on your age bracket, this person could be younger than you by a few years, or this person looks younger than they actually are by a few years. Okay, so just take it how it resonates. For most of you though, I feel like this person is definitely like older or more established. Yeah. What else can we know about this person? Spirit, for my pile 3's. Pile 3's next romantic partner. Poetic. Okay. This person has a way with words. Maybe they like poetry. I could see that for sure. I could see them liking poetry. Medium brown hair. So light brown skin tone, medium brown hair. It might even be that like this person, they might not even have a lot of gray. Like if they're older, they might not have a whole lot of gray in their hair. And so that's part of the reason why they look younger than they actually are. Like people might mistake them to be a lot younger, or like a few years younger than what they actually are, because they just have a youthful vibe to them. What else, Spirit? What else? Physical touch. Okay, so physical touch might be their love language. Okay. What else? For pile number 3's next romantic partner, we have estranged family. Okay, so this person might have an estranged family. They might not, you know, get along with their family. Very interesting. I was kind of feeling like when we were talking about this person's insecurity, when it comes to like constantly feeling like they need to learn and be better and grow and evolve, that might stem from childhood, where maybe they never felt like they were good enough, right? Who knows, their parents might have really expected a lot from this person, and that might have had a very big impact on this person, and maybe they, you know, decided to kind of keep their families at arm's length, but it could be a multitude of reasons why this person's family could be estranged, right? So let's see what else. We have guarded. Okay, so this person might be a little bit guarded, very like careful. I feel like this is the type of person to ask a lot of questions. Okay. Very inquisitive, so they're going to ask you a lot of questions when they're getting to know you, because I don't think that they just let anyone into their life, into their world, right? They're very selective. Laid back. Yeah, we said that earlier with that King of Pentacles energy. This person is pretty laid back. Very like chill. They don't do too much. Let's get one more. Funny, designer brands. Okay, so if this person does wear designer brands, it's not going to be the kind where it's like a bunch of logos on it. It's going to be very understated, very subtle. Like they're the type of person to buy like a white t-shirt and you would never know that they spent like $200 on that t-shirt, you know, because it's just like a plain t-shirt, but it's quality. So when they do kind of like splurge on things, it's because they're buying it for the quality and not necessarily for like the name brand or to look a certain way. And in that regard, like this person's frugal, but when they do decide to spend a little money, it's because they know that they're going to use that product or that item forever, right? So I think they're just very intentional about the way that they spend their money. So let's go ahead and move into the next part of your reading. We are going to look at what the relationship is going to be like. Okay. So let's start with a romance angel oracle card, just to kind of get the vibes here, what this relationship is going to be like for you, my pile threes. It's so funny because FedEx just kind of pulled up to my house, and the message that's coming through with that is like this person is going to almost just be like delivered to you, not literally obviously, but it kind of just feels like the way this person comes into your life, you're gonna feel like it's serendipitous, or it's like this person was just delivered to you on a silver platter, like here you go, pile three, here is your partner. I also feel like this person could wear glasses for some of you. Yeah. And also I'm being shown like if this person does have a little bit of gray in their hair, it's kind of just like on the sides, like near their temples, like they might just have a little bit of gray right there. Especially if it's a man. If it's a woman, she might dye it, but yeah. Anyways, what will this relationship be like? For my pile threes, please, Spirit. What will this relationship be like for my pile threes? What will this relationship be like? You deserve love. You are lovable. Beautiful energy. You're going to feel like you've been shot by Cupid's arrow. I'm noticing like this rush of water, like this river. So I think that this relationship is going to come in very quickly, very suddenly, and I think things might actually move very fast for a lot of you here. I'm hearing like no holding back, okay? Even though this person might be a little bit guarded in the beginning as they're getting to know you, I feel like once you kind of get over that initial like acquaintance stage, talking stage, that sort of thing, things are going to move pretty freaking quick. This relationship is going to make you feel very loved, very cared for. Yeah, you're going to feel like you've been struck by Cupid's arrow. So let's look at what impact this relationship is going to have on your life. What impact is this relationship going to have on pile number 3's life, Spirit? What impact is this relationship going to have? So we have walking away. Walking away, all right. This could mean a couple of different things, but there's definitely an energy here of transition, okay? Definitely an energy of transition. For some of you, this could be like you walking away from a previous relationship into this one. Even a previous marriage for some of you. But let's see, Spirit, what is this relationship going to be like for my pile 3s? Or what impact is this relationship going to have on my pile 3s? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, new beginnings. And I think I said, I think it was for this pile where I said I saw 111 at the beginning of the reading. This definitely feels like leaving behind an old life for a new one. We have the 5 of Swords. What impact is this relationship going to have on my pile number 3s? King of Pentacles. Love to see it. I want to clarify this 5 of Swords really quick, but we do have the World. Whoops, I gotta cover her. We do have the World at the bottom of the deck. So definitely there's an element here of endings and new beginnings and you starting a brand new, fresh start for yourself in this relationship. You could be moving to be with this person, walking away from your old life. Like I said, for some of you, walking away from a previous relationship or even a previous marriage, okay? Or even walking away from, it could be the emotional impacts that a previous relationship had on you for some of you as well. Spirit, can you please clarify this 5 of Swords? Thank you. We have the Fool. New beginnings, fresh starts. That's so clear to me. So the impact that this relationship is going to have on you is it's going to open up like a brand new chapter, a brand new cycle in your life. It's like a fresh start where you are leaving behind. I feel like this is conflict. This could be past relationships that had a lot of conflict, arguments, disagreements, things like that. Or this could be like an internal sort of conflict that you've been experiencing, right? It's you having a fresh start. And this fresh start with the Ace of Pentacles leading to the King of Pentacles for a lot of you. And I feel like this has been a collective energy. This is someone that's going to be in your life for a really long time or possibly for the rest of your life. But it's like a very like solid, grounded foundation with this Ace of Pentacles. This is planting the seed for something that, you know, has the potential to be very long lasting, to be very grounded. As long as we continue to nurture that seed, right? Water that seed. I think that this relationship is going to bring in a lot of stability for you. And maybe that's something that was missing in past relationships. Okay. Or maybe it's something that has been missing from your life in general. Maybe that's something that you feel has been lacking. And maybe that's where this 5 of Swords is coming from, like an energy of conflict, an energy of feeling unsettled, right? So this relationship is going to make you feel settled. It's going to make you feel grounded. It's going to make you feel supported. And I feel like it's just like this person's energy and their personality. It's very grounding. Like I said, they're very laid back. I think they're very supportive. They're very caring. I think that they are just going to provide you with a lot of stability and a lot of support. And you're going to feel very comfortable in your life. Like even with this walking away, like you're walking away from what doesn't serve you anymore. And you're stepping into this new journey, this new experience. It's like a fresh, fun energy. It's exciting, but it's also like, it's also grounded, you know? It's a risk, but it's a risk that you know you're going to be caught. You know that there's a net waiting for you. I'm like literally being shown Divergent, where she like jumps down, the first one where she like jumps down into the thing. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but she jumps down and there's a net at the bottom. It's kind of like that. Obviously she didn't know the net was there, but it's kind of like that, because you're walking away from your old life and stepping into this new one, with this person. And I just think you're going to feel so, the word that keeps coming through is settled. You're going to feel so settled, so grounded, so safe and supported. Okay. So let's take a look at any potential challenges that may come up in this relationship. So Spirit, what's a potential challenge that might come up in this relationship? What's a potential challenge? We have happy family. Okay. So this might be going back to this person's estranged family here. There might be challenges surrounding that, or if this is a situation where one or both of you have children from previous relationships, there might be some challenges surrounding that. But let's get some tarot to see what this is all about here. Oh, I'm also being told that for some of you, this could be like an LGBT, and obviously only take this as if it resonates, but with the rainbow here and that even that estranged family message, this could be an LGBT relationship where maybe one or both of you have never really explored that, but have always felt called to, but maybe needed to work through some things to get to a point where you felt comfortable, exploring that part of yourself. So that could also be for some of you here. I'm feeling that as well. And so kind of depending on, maybe it's your family, maybe it's their family, I don't know. Getting like approval might be something that's challenging. But yeah, that's a message for someone here. Obviously not for everyone, but let's see. What are potential challenges that might come up in this relationship, Spirit, for pile 3? We have the Empress. Maybe it's wanting to have children, especially if you're older. It's making me think for some of you, it could be like struggling to conceive. But let's see. Or like deciding on what family looks like. We have the 7 of Pentacles. Let's see. What challenges might come up in this relationship, Spirit? 3 of Swords, the Hermit. Okay. I definitely feel like for some of you, this could be like struggling to conceive a child with the 7 of Pentacles. This is kind of giving me an energy of like waiting for something to happen, right? 3 of Swords, this could be like disappointment in trying to conceive a child. Clarify the Hermit, please, Spirit. The 2 of Swords. This is about not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. Okay. It could even be like, if it's not about conceiving a child, it could just be that maybe the 2 of you have differing perspectives, or you might initially want different things as it relates to what family is. Like, for example, one of you might want kids, the other one might not, right? Or might be hesitant for one reason or another. Or it might be a timing issue with the Seven of Pentacles. Like, one of you might want children right now, but the other one wants to wait a little bit. Like, there's something about, and I feel like for a lot of you, it's about children, or it's about what family looks like. It could even be like adoption, right? But there's something about the timing that's kind of frustrating or challenging, or like conceiving, like I said, might be challenging, and there's a little bit of frustration about what to do. Or like I said, one of you might want children right away, one of you might want to wait a little bit. Like, there's some push and pull here about that. But let's get some advice here. But this happy family card can definitely represent like having children from previous relationships and marriages and things like that. So there might be challenges about like knowing when to like introduce the children to your new partner, right? There might be challenges surrounding that, or even like, you know, having your children warm up to this person, getting to know this person. Like, there might be some challenges for those of you where that resonates surrounding that. But let's get some advice. Spirit, what advice do you have for my pile threes about this challenge coming through? What advice do you have for my pile threes about this challenge coming through and about how to navigate it? Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. New moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. That's kind of like this hermit energy. Going within, doing some introspection, some soul searching. When you're feeling lost, when you're feeling confused, taking time to go within. Okay. I guess Spirit is saying the answers that you could be looking for throughout these challenges lie within you. Okay. You will find the answers that you are seeking through meditation, through contemplation, through going within, which is clear with the Hermit here and the Two of Swords. If it's a situation where it's like you're trying to blend families, for example, or if it's like a timing issue, one of you wants kids right away, the other one of you doesn't, like, I feel like Spirit is saying in those moments where it's like you don't know what to do, you don't know the path forward, you don't know how to progress, take time to meditate. You will find the answers within yourself. I want to read from the book for this card for you guys. New moon in Pisces. It just kind of depends on your situation here, and everyone's situation is different. So this card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. It suggests there's a new start coming your way that's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. There could be confusion and disappointment if that's what you've had before and that's what you're expecting. However, if you're onto a good thing, then wish hard, because the words of your soul and your heart could help bring about the manifestation of your dreams. If all that sounds a little wet and watery, then that's Pisces for you. It's the last sign of the zodiac, and it can suggest a last-ditch chance to make your dreams come true. Use your feelings to guide your way. Logic won't work right now. Face your fears. The situation's being healed. Da 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 da. Okay. So it's a time to listen to your feelings and allow your emotions free reign. So if you're going through a situation with this person where either you're trying to like combine families, or you're having issues with family, like estranged family, or there's issues about timing on when to build a family or something like that, Spirit is saying in those moments where you're feeling lost and confused and unsure of what to do, take time to meditate, to contemplate, to allow your emotions and your feelings to guide you down your path. That is how you will figure out your way forward. It's from going within. Okay. Very interesting. But like I said, it's going to be different for everyone here what this challenge is specifically, but I definitely feel like it has something to do with family and or children, okay? And like the timing of things, okay? It could even be for some of you, like if you have children from a previous relationship, like you might feel like you want to wait a while before introducing your children to this person because of, like, obviously you want to make sure this person is like who they say they are, right? Totally understandable. And you might be very apprehensive because of maybe what you've gone through in the past with previous relationships. And you don't, obviously want to bring someone into your life or into your children's life that could potentially end up causing you more hurt and strife, right? So Spirit is saying in those moments, take time out, breathe, allow your feelings and your emotions to guide you, because I feel like if you tap more into that logical side of yourself, you're going to be operating from more of a place of fear simply because of what you've experienced in the past. And it's understandable, of course. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that. So just take it how it resonates. We're going to go ahead and finish off your reading by grabbing 2 of the months of the year to see when this relationship is going to come in for you. So for my pile number 3s, please Spirit, when is this relationship going to come into their life? Okay. We had 2 that just came right on out. So we'll take a look at those. So we have January and we have June. Okay. So if you're watching this when I'm posting, we're currently in the month of June. So this person could be coming in this month if you're watching this when I'm posting. But anytime between January and June, I'm feeling like, so beginning half of the year, I feel like, so if you're watching this at a later date, it most likely will be between January and June of whatever year is coming up next for you. So yeah, that is all I have for you, my pile number 3s. I want to thank you so much for being here with me today, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!